Hello, I'm Shelley Rothus, and I'm a different kind of victim. Today's topic is going to be turning over a new leaf. Well, it sounds easy, but it can actually be hard. Now, this topic can deal with conditioned normalized victimization syndrome. Also, in relation to the alcoholic's toxic pity party addiction, as to where normalized behaviors becomes a normalized pattern and it becomes conditioned, as to where that's what they know, that's what you're used to. So let's talk about things that we're used to doing on a regular basis as though it's a part of our life. Okay, say every Friday night it's family night. You play board games, maybe even go out to dinner with the family. It's those nights that may seem like not much to others, but to that person, it was something special. It was routine, and it became normalized. So when things become normalized, it's hard to let go of it, because it's hard to make changes and do something that was out of your norm, especially if you found anything in it that's special or even fun. So I'll be discussing the victim right now as myself and my personal experience. Now, with the online bullying cult clans, as I've admitted, is that I was a shark twatter, and it became normalized because I feared if I went against them or even left, walked away, they would come right after me. And I've proven that's exactly what happened, because I tried to, and it didn't work. That's where the fear can come in too, if you don't follow the rules and stick with them. Because just like in real life cult clans, if somebody leaves, they see them as, oh no, they're going to let others know our secrets and how evil we are. Oh, we're going to attack them, and that's exactly how it is with alcoholics. People who enjoy to intentionally harm other people on a regular basis. So the recent incident was how I did try to give Mickey another chance, but let's talk about those feelings. As I stated in the past video, is that I honestly didn't have many expectations of him really changing. I was hoping, but I knew the chances were very slim. Basically the same as I knew that the chances of Ken walking away and not engaging and encouraging and enabling the abuse against me was very slim. Why? Because he believed the lies over and over again. And what is the problem with conditioned normalized victimization syndrome that people don't understand? Does the victim enjoy it and think that's normal and that it's okay? No. They have fear too. They fear the feelings that are going to come that are negative, and nobody likes having negative feelings and feeling down. I, of course, didn't want to feel down and having to accept that Ken was, in fact, enabling the abuse by engaging it and encouraging it just by being around those people who are doing it to me. Onlookers, followers, as I said, they play a huge role in it. So, what did I try to do at first? I tried to be just friends with Ken and tried to keep it secret where nobody else would find out, hoping that they would leave me alone and they wouldn't get him involved if they didn't know that he was friends with me still. Well, I showed him that to be not a good technique. And is that fair to me? Is it fair that I should have to tiptoe around and pretend that I'm not friends with him and not even share, I'm friends with Ken or I talked to Ken today. It's not fair to me. Basically, it would be the same as somebody being ashamed to be seen with somebody that others don't like or think badly of for no good reason. As I've stated, is that even the recent incident, as to, incidents where people had unfriended me because they didn't want to be seen with me, or they said, oh, well, it's stressing me out, or I don't want to get in the middle. And there's ones that even said, well, I don't want to be seen with you because others that are bullying you will attack me. Not any different than the online bullying as I described in the past videos. So is that really a friend? I'm starting to, I already know, as I said, with conditioned normalized victimization syndrome, you don't want to admit that because you're ashamed. So where does that shame comes into play is that you regret that time that you put it into those relationships that you really wanted to be special, even though deep down inside there was that little So how did I even experience a happy relationship as what I thought? That would have been with Mickey, I thought. Until, of course, the bad things happened. The one really bad thing where Asuka had threatened and degraded me in front of him. And he did what Ken did, was just watch it happen and didn't say anything to defend me. So even though that did end up happening and it showed his true colors, I still got that taste of what happiness in a relationship felt like. And that's exactly what I want to strive for. And of course, I want it to be real. So I've been at the point where in all my relationships, I see them as current relationships. I don't see them as forever. That is my way of protecting myself because I've been deceived and betrayed so many times that I don't want to get hurt anymore. And that's just how I see it. I don't see anything everlasting. The last person I felt would actually last forever was actually Mickey. Even if we didn't end up in an intimate partnership, I thought our friendship would last forever. That was actually the first person I actually saw it as though it would last forever. But that was let down too. So I recently spoke to another friend, and he told me, he said, they were never your friends. And when I told him how they just dropped me as a friend after a bad incident happened to me when I was assaulted, he was like, wow. Even others are like, that's not a friend. Who would drop you as a friend just because you ended up going through something like that? That is horrible and despicable to do to somebody. I'm like, yeah, it is. So I did end up giving certain people more chances than they deserved. And the recent one, I actually thought maybe I could forgive it. Maybe I could let it go. And I did. I really did try. But they ended up doing the same thing over. As I said, repeated behaviors. They ended up dropping me because certain people choose to be assholes and cause trouble. And a friend would stand by you. Because what happens if somebody doesn't stand by you and drops you because you're getting abused? That's just going to entice the abusers. Absolutely. Because they don't want the victim to have any support. And actually, this is the same person that had, not even wanted to be seen with me because they were afraid that if they were seen with me or it was known that they may get attacked too. What kind of friend is that? So what I learned from my friend is, he told me, he said, they're not your friends, they're not a part of you, and they shouldn't be important to you. You need to forget them because they were never your friend. As hard as that is to admit and shameful, they were never my friend. The ones that took off during that time or any other time just dropped me because I was getting abused or even blamed me for it. That's not a friend. a friend would be there for you and be supportive, is what I realized. And that's what I said in the past videos, a couple of videos, is I want to change that in myself, as not giving so many chances for people that repeat those behaviors over and over again. So what have I realized afterwards? Actually, it's a good thing. That's where the turning the leaf over can actually be something good. And that's what I'm experiencing right now. Even though it just happened recently, I'm realizing that it was actually a good thing to do. Because after I had finally escaped the bullying cult clans, I had become who I was proud of. When I was around them and surrounded by them, or even associated with any of the people that were cult members in my group, I didn't like who I was. I can honestly say that when I looked in the mirror, I felt ashamed of just being around them and people knowing that I know them and seeing them do harm to other people. I didn't like who I was. I wasn't proud of who I was. But I had forgot what it felt like to be proud of myself for what I stand on as for morals and how you treat people based upon respect. So there it is. The condition normalized victimization syndrome. It can apply to the alcoholics toxic pity party addiction as well. They normalize those toxic relationships as to where even the shark twatters, which I was, they usually don't like what they're doing. They think they do, but they know deep down inside when they're by themselves, they realize what they're doing is wrong. And most of the time, they even regret it. But can they have the personal integrity to actually stand up and say, hey, I was wrong for even surrounding myself with these people, talking to them, because all that did was encourage it. Was it good that I didn't defend people who didn't deserve to be treated that way and not say anything and have the personal integrity to do so? Absolutely not. That's where people say, well, I don't want to get in the middle of it. Well, I can't be seen with you because then they'll attack me. Just ignore it. Well, guess what? I ignored the bullying cult clans online and the ones here in real life. And guess what? It didn't work. I even said that to my friend. I said, it didn't work. I've tried to just rid them. But you know what? I've also came to the realization is that when I finally let go of every single one of those people that were in that bullying cult clan that I was associated with in a strong way, and were really close to certain people that was in my bullying cult clan, and I finally rid all of them, I noticed that things just went boom. It finally went away after a while. And that's exactly how I feel right now. Because even though, certain people weren't a part of that cult clan, like one wasn't really anymore, even though they lied, they said that it's been over 2 years, but actually they were still hanging out with many of them often when I moved here less than a year ago and for a while. So that's actually not true, because if you're still associating with them, you're basically a part of that cult clan when you're sitting there listening to them say crap. That's what enticing the abuser. That's exactly what they want. They want the support. So anybody that's sitting in those crowds, hanging out with these people and going along with it, you're a part of the abuse, whether you want to admit it or not. Even those people that see them doing wrong, especially if it's somebody that they call their friend. Just like I said about the online cult clans, where that one person had told me that, yeah, I'm in this group, and they talk crap about my friend, and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, what? It's like, you're friends with somebody and you're in a group where they're saying really cruel and despicable things about them? I mean, that's not a friend. That's exactly what it is in my situation too. These people are not my friends. They know that these people are doing cruel and despicable things to me, yet they still associate with certain people that are involved in doing it. So what does that do to me? That negatively affects me. I'm actually being friends with people that aren't really my friends and don't deserve to be my friends. So the way my friend had explained it to me really made a lot of sense. I'm not losing anything. They were never a part of me. They were never my friend. Friends, I should say, certain people, because they were encouraging and enabling the abuse to happen to me. Just by unfriending me because they didn't want to get attacked themselves, or like they said, they tried to make it out as though they're the ones that it's happening to, saying it's stressing me out. Any of that, that's a cop-out, and that's not having the personal integrity to do the right thing, nor is it being a good friend that respects you or even cares about you. So my turning over a new leaf basically relates to even the online incident, because after I finally was freed, I felt so different and I felt so happy, and I finally began to see who I really was again. And that's exactly where I'm heading right now, is I turned over a whole new leaf because I rid the people that were even associated with the people that are trying to cause me harm currently. So, as I stated, is that I also decided that I see Mickey even as a stranger. The same applies to these other friends. If I could let go of him, I can let go of those people too. Because like I stated, is that Mickey was the most important to me, and as I've discussed in other videos, as to why that was. And of course, he was the first person I loved. But I realized that I can't remain in a relationship with someone who encourages and enables the abuse to continue to happen to me, because it also proves that they didn't see me as important as I did them, and I deserve better than that. So as you can see, it also can apply to any type of relationship as to how it can harm the person that is being abused. It doesn't matter what type, because even friends can harm you and can abuse you and can actually enable and encourage and engage in abuse. Abuse is abuse no matter who it happens and where. And as I've just described, is that the patterns are the same and remain the same in any type of abuse. So my new leaf is I'm going to be somebody who I want to be. Somebody I'm going to be really proud of. I'm not going to be sitting there thinking to myself every once in a while, even though I think I'm happy in that relationship, but that person never apologized. You know, certain people, they never apologize. I'd say a lot of people. Most people. Well, if they can't apologize, like certain friends that abandoned me during, that time that I was harmed, well, that just shows who they really are. They really aren't my friend to do that and not have any guilt or shame about it. But as condition normalized victimization syndrome it's extremely hard to even admit that those people did something really cruel to you and that you're still remaining in that relationship, because you don't want to see that. That victim doesn't want to see that. So I'm admitting now that I was still in toxic relationships, and I realize that. But my new leaf is that I'm going to be striving to be something better. I'm going to be focusing on the positive. And I'm actually happy, because I really feel like I was just rid of a lot of toxicity. And that means anybody that is in any way associated with those cult clans in any way whatsoever. Just like I did with the online bullying cult clans. Anybody that was associated with them, even if they weren't in the clan when I was, but they associate with somebody that's in there and they're really close to them, or they even talk to them here and there as though, meaning they're just talking to these people knowing that they're doing harm to somebody that they claim they care about, that they're friends with. They tell me to my face that they really care about me, they don't like what's happening to me, but what do they do when they're on the outside? Those are the ones that say, I don't want to get in the middle. Yet, I hate that they're doing this to you, that's so bad. Yet they're acting on the outside as though that's not a friend. That shows that they really don't care, because they don't have the personal integrity and they really don't care and they don't see you as important. Not that important in their life if they can't even defend you. So me turning over a new leaf was very hard, And I'm still in the process of working on it. And I really hope that I become successful at continuing on doing so. And that's choosing to even not remain in relationships that are toxic in certain ways that I myself didn't see as being that bad. Again, condition normalized victimization syndrome. Because you don't want to see that you've been in toxic relationships. You don't want to see that. It's shameful. You regret it. You think, man, I spent all that time trying my hardest to be a good friend, but can I just forget that that happened and act like it didn't happen? No, it's just like telling somebody to just get over it. What does that do? Pushes it back. That's basically the same as giving so many chances. It's just pushing it about all back. And if they never apologized, and they didn't even care to apologize or even try to change those behaviors, what happens? They're just going to continue doing it over and over again. And that is exactly what happened in another relationship, the recent one, is that I kept on putting it back and bringing them back, but they kept on doing that same thing over and over after. So I believe that people can actually change. I really do. I honestly can't see that people can't change. It's that they need to want to change. They need to want to change. Just like I don't believe abusers are born that way. They choose to be an asshole. So, turning over a new leaf. I really hope it works out for me, and I'm going to be striving on that. And I do feel positive based upon my new realization and my new goal. So, that's it for tonight. And the topic was turning over a new leaf and hoping to keep going upwards. That's it for now. I'm Shelley Rothus. I'm a different kind of victim. See you next time.